not whether there are new innovations driving new technology and, of course, driving new business models and, of course, driving economic growth. That is not actually my concern. It's good. My concern is that since independence, we have never been part of that. That is the problem. What I mean by that is that we have oil and gas today. Yeah? Not that we are using it well, but at least we have oil and gas. Okay, and a group of people now say, oh, there's climate change. No problem, I understand that. Because of climate change, we don't want to invest in oil and gas anymore, we want to invest in renewable. I also understand that. However, the concern is, where is Nigeria in that investment? Because it is when you are part of that investment that you will get your economic growth in 5 years, in 10 years' time. So it will not matter to you whether you left oil and gas, if you are part of the process. So whether you're right, you're right. We are never part of the process. We are always responding. We are always reacting. We are never part of the process because we have not successfully managed the economy in a way in which we go to that micro and change the dynamics of the global economy from our own perspective, from our own point. So it's always, oh, they said there's renewable now, we are going. They say we need mobile phone, we are going. They say we need, even phone cases we can't make. Phone cases. There's nobody in this room that uses a phone without a phone case. Because you can't buy a phone for 200 or 300 and you will not put case. I mean, even if you are the richest man's daughter or son, you want to put a case. But even phone cases we are not making. So all those big stuff, they are even big stuff. I'm even concerned about the tiny stuff. We are just not part of the process. I mean, the whole world is experiencing supply chain problems. I will talk about one or two things about that in the second part, right? Now, where are we in the supply chain? The only effect of the supply chain is that we are not getting the goods, and that's why now we that work in Apapa, we can travel into Apapa and travel out of Apapa easily. But that's the only effect in the value chain, meaning the destination effect. But whether it's in Singapore, in Czechoslovakia, in Turkey, they are talking about the supply chain crisis from another perspective entirely. Oh, we have Apple packaging, we can't move it. That's the language they are speaking. Because, for instance, if you have the Apple phone, for those of you that have Apple phone, for instance, the components of Apple phone is made in 41 countries, assembled in China. So in all these countries, of course, Nigeria is not part of it. In all these countries, the language, the understanding of supply chain crisis is they are producing and they are not able to move it. But Nigeria, supply chain crisis means that I want to buy iPhone, I can't see it.
All right, we have one more question, two more questions. Over to you.
In your presentation, it appears you've placed emphasis on the global impact, how global dynamics drove down our economic growth. I didn't hear you much talk about the policy impact. Is it policy inertia, or just lack of policies, or lack of adequate response? How could we have responded differently? Especially, as you said, the 2016-2017 recession wasn't supposed to be, or wasn't necessary, but it happened. And then that weakened us so much that when 2020 came, we were unprepared. So what could we have done differently? And I see you avoided monetary policy. I don't know if that's deliberate, but monetary policy has dominated economic management in the last 4 or 5 years, basically. And I'm wondering if you could talk much about the economy without talking about the role monetary policy has played in the last 4 or 5 years in how the economy has shaped up.
However, the way the Nigerian economy is structured, and I use the word structure, the central bank plays a huge, huge role in the economy, especially when we are in economic crisis. Especially. And the reason is this, because they manage the foreign exchange. So that's why. Otherwise, it won't matter. It won't matter. It will just be a case of what most central banks do. They indirectly support fiscal policy, and that's it. For instance, we may not know it, but it's there already. I mean, whether it's in the US, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Canada, I mean, there was just huge, humongous printing of money. I mean, in the last 20 months. I mean, the amount of money that has been printed in the last 20 months is much more than we probably printed in the last 25 years globally. Because people just have, monetary policy just have to support growth. But while I did not say it directly, I said it indirectly. The Nigerian economy was already down. So, because it was already down and already crippled, all that we have heard also from our government is the support from Central Bank of Nigeria of about 1.3 trillion. But in a very already devastated, crippled economy, most of it is reflected in high prices. I mean, it's just prices. There's nothing real. I mean, okay, there's something real, but what I mean is it's not significant. So our problem has always been a supply side problem. Until we deal with the supply side problems, we will continue to see money as the problem. Money will always be the problem, you know. But money is not the problem, because the money is just a means of exchange. The real problem are the supply side problem. Why are we not able to grow agricultural products at a competitive rate? Why are we not able to develop our manufacturing at a competitive rate? Why are we not able to compete, even, like I said, even in the making of chairs at a competitive rate? So whatever it is, I mean, look at it this way. Let me take rice, for example. There's been so much and significant investment in rice in the last few years, right? Even by the same central bank. So does anyone here in their right thinking actually think that the people that smuggle rice into the country to sell, do you think that they hate Nigeria? No, because even with all the transport, all the logistics, all the packaging, it is still cheaper. It is still cheaper. So we are just economic agents. So what is actually important is not the nominal price or what the printing of money, which we did, is that how do we grow the economy by being competitive at what we produce. It is as simple as that. What we produce. Once we are competitive, okay, let me put it this way, and I will stop here. I always remind people whenever I have this opportunity, and I'm going to do that again. I worked in a bar virtually the whole of 2018 and 19. I mean, I must have been to a bar like 10, 15 times, sometimes spending up to a week consulting. Now, this will shock you. The whole of Cameroon, Togo, Benin, all these West African countries, that is where Aba people play. They play easily. If you see truck lift t-shirts, boxer shorts from Aba to these places, you'll be shocked that, oh, Nigeria is involved in this kind of business. Why are these countries buying it? Because they are competitive. There's no other reason why anybody buys anything from you. There's no other reason. I'm not sure anybody buys Dangote cement because they like Dangote. It's because you have to build a house, and you have to build a house at a competitive price. But because You can't import cement, which I'm sure we are all aware it is still cheaper even if you import. So why is it always cheaper to import? That's the question we must ask ourselves, but we'll deal with it in part 2.